Morning folks, yeah, I'm on a chariot mode, in the chariot mode, on a chariot fix. I thought, yeah, my Pelesets, my reedy hatted guys, if you can see those. Yeah, reedy hatted guys, I thought, yeah, they need a chariot general. So I've got a couple of horses there, painted and sort of based up on card, they'll do. Got one of my metal yokes, that fits across nicely. And here's my, resin chariot in two parts. I'm just noticing that all of my chariots have got bow quivers. Bow quivers? Yeah, arrow quivers on the sides. I'm going to have to make a new body. And I think what I'll probably do, if it sounds sensible, is take the arrow quiver. Yeah, arrow. Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? Arrow quiver. Trim the arrows off and then slightly drill in, probably put an oversized drill, so I could actually put a javelin in there, and I could leave the javelin loose. Ooh, so I could put one of my metal wire spears in there, but drill a hole, so that when I cast it there's a slight hole, and then just drill it out and put the javelin in. I think that would look quite posy, because obviously I'm not too worried about the arrows being on here, the quiver, but these aren't archery type guys. So we've got the officer figure here. What I'm going to do with him is I'm going to drill out the hand, because he's got a sword which is a bit short for a chariot, and I think he would look good with a spear. Put a shield on once his base. I'm going to have to trim the feet. As I was saying before my camera rudely cut out, I'm going to trim the feet up, take the base off, get my snips out, and just bend that leg round slowly so he can probably cut the toes as well. It's one of those things we have to do to get these figures in the chariot body. And then this was a spearman who I'm just going to turn into the chariot driver. So what I'm going to do with him is just put the whip in his hand. Again, he'll sit there, probably chop up the toes and see if I can bend that leg slightly round the back leg, because it's going to stick out too far. I mean, it's only just connected, so I can do all that. I'll probably leave that till I've painted, although that's going to be a pain, because then all the paint's going to crack off. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to bend this leg somehow to get it, so I'm going to have to cut this base before I paint. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to have the driver there and the officer there, but they've all got the reedy type hat, so this will be a command chariot. Right, I'm going to make a start, come back to you when I've got some progress. Okay, there we go. First bit of fettling done. Chopped out the front of the chariot so that the yoke pole can sit underneath the cab, and bent that to shape so that's slightly rounded, which is what I need. That goes on there, but the most work I've done is on the cab and the figures. So I'll just take the figures out. What I've done with the cab, I was talking about before, and I thought, well, I don't have to wait till the new mould, do I? So I've just I've even trimmed off the arrow flights. Okay, it's a bit tight. Let me just, yeah, I can't get it out there now. I haven't glued in yet. And drill a little hole, and then put the javelins in. Okay, little pliers out. I'll need to get a slightly bigger drill. I think it's a bit loose. Mind you, I'm probably going to stick them in anyway, aren't I? So what we've got is basic little javelin. I'm tongue-tied. Too much brandy. If that shows there, you see, yep, I drilled a little hurl. I'll need to open that up a bit bigger, I think. Push that in there, and there we go. That's what the cab will look like. Now, some of the foundry kits come with javelins, don't they? Usually the javelin's facing forward, but I've got them facing back, so I don't care. That's what I've done. Right, so that's how that's gonna look. Now for the figures, chopped his feet, his base off, his feet, his toes, take his spear out, and I've cut the back of his leg and bent that slightly forward, if that shows, so he can stand a bit better. I'll take that off because he'll stand there. Obviously you have to cut the front of the toes to get him further enough forward. I've left a little shield boss on the end of his fist there, and then I should put a shield on once he's glued in the cab. The spear will go like that. So these will be the throwing javelins, where this is the like the long kontos or ekinos, I think the Greeks used to call it, the fighting spear. Okay, that's him. And with the driver, similar there, he had a leg bent up, so I've sliced into the back of the leg, into the calf there, bent that down, and then chopped the feet down, the base off, so he will just sit. If I can't really see them all fingers and thumbs, but he just rests on the back with his leg on the back of the cab, and he's going to have the whip in that hand, the whip hand as they say. And if I put this guy, he will go in here, so they're both very snug as all these figures are, because these are quite larger figures. Not designed for the chariots, are they? But they fit. So there we go. That's what that will look like. I don't think that's too bad. So the next thing to do now is to get these all painted up and shipshape. I think that's the thing to do now. We've done all the grunt work. Right. So I'll get undercoating and then come back to you when there's some progress. Right, there we go, just about finished. Chariot is done, the javelins are done, drilled out the bow cases, you can see the javelins slip in there nicely now. The main spear is done. I've just got to, I've just got to put that into his hand when he's based up. The driver is completed, one driver. And I'm just painting up a whip for him, which will be glued into that hand when it's dry. Something like that. If that shows, again, all fingers and thumbs. Right, so I'm going to start putting these all together. And get it based and come back to show you the finished product. I think there's nothing more I need to show you on that. So, back in a tick. And there we have it, all based up and finitoed. I just thought, yeah, this was a kit bash and a half, really, wasn't it? I mean, apart from the two horses here, everything, oh, sorry, the yoke was. Everything else was knocked about, cast by me, and remade, remastered. So it just goes to show what you can do. So what we've got there is got the small shield for the driver to protect the main guy, who has got a large spear, obviously for fighting on a chariot. Put some soldered wire as a whip, which I think works okay for the driver, and I've put the two little javelins, which are loose. I think I'm going to glue them in because I think they're just going to get lost. As you can see, wobbling about a bit there. So we've got the javelins which can be thrown. The figures were basic infantry figures, and if I turn it round again, just show you can just see where I straightened that leg out. That leg was folded back here and running, so I nicked, cut in just below the kilt and the calf leg, and just bent it round as far as I could without it snapping off, and I've managed to super glue it to the back of the cab. The other legs obviously are forward, toes cut, because you need to get them further forward. I mean, even with the correct chariot crew figures, I tend to have to cut the feet to get them in enough. But this was a guy running, so what I've done here, his front leg is slightly higher than his back, so his back leg takes the support. Sorry, his left leg is taking the support. The right leg, I've bent the toes down, the foot down, so it touches the front of the cab, and I've glued him in place. Also tacked a little bit of glue here, oh whoops, too high, on the side of the kilt of the driver, just to give him a bit of extra purchase. But there we go. I'm quite pleased with this. I think this is quite good. This is a Peleset Chariot, so it'd be a Peleset officer's chariot. He's got a full sort of half bronze top of bronze plates. The driver has no armour on because he's just a driver. Yeah, there we go. So I'm well pleased with this. Yeah, well pleased with this, how it's turned out. Yeah, took me longer than I wanted, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Time is free for me, luckily. Yeah, I shall need to make some more of these. Not too many. For these Sea People's armies, they don't have a lot of chariots. I think the list only has 8. We'll probably double that up, but split between all the different nations, that's not many chariots. yeah, so there we go. I'll take some stills and put those on the end. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.